All right, I am live. Hello, welcome to Porter Coaching Studio. My name's Chris Porter. I'm an ADHD coach, and I'm sharing stories of my journey of being a coach, of just a person that has ADHD. So I don't want to forget to do this. Every day I'm marking down how far along I am. And today is day 18 of going live. Otherwise, I'll have to eat this dog food. And I don't want to eat the dog food. So, okay, good. My face is in focus. Day 18 in the books. And marking this guy down. All right. Getting further. Someone with ADHD, it's helpful for me to see progress, to have visual reminders of the things that are going on. That's why sticky notes are awesome for me. I love Sharpies. I love whiteboards. In college, I can remember going down to the ILC, like the library, the place underneath the library at the U of A, and going and just using a study room to be able to write out all the notes. And some of the study rooms had like glass surrounding it, and so I'd take my marker and I'd like write out the notes and just see everything visually. And I was like, man, one day when I'm rich, I'm gonna have a room that's just full of whiteboards and have it everywhere. Well, then I found out that you can get these whiteboards that stick to the wall with static cling, and I love it. It's like $20 for a roll, and you have like a huge amount. So oh, and now it's falling down. Sorry about that, guys. I shouldn't have messed with it. All right, that's going over here. A moment. Don't need to worry about that. So today I wanted to share a little bit of my experience of ADHD and what I wish someone had told me about ADHD when I was going through school, especially in college. So I'll tell you a little bit about my experience of being in college with ADHD and not really having other people around me that had it. I went to Pima for 6 years and then transferred to U of A with the business management, but I studied sign language and was going for my interpreter program at Pima Community College. And every day in between classes, I would bring like all sorts of like basically toys or things to like keep me engaged. So I go out and I juggle pins, I juggle balls. I did this contact juggling where I had like a crystal ball. If you've ever seen David Bowie and Labyrinth, then you know what I'm talking about, where he's like moving the ball around on his hands. And so I would bring these things to help me to focus, to like get moving. And I would find that like when I was in class, just sitting there, I was able to focus for the first like half an hour. And then I would really struggle with my focus. And then once class finished, I would go outside and I would take a walk around. I would move around, and then my focus would come back. And so then I'd be able to go to the next class. So for me with ADHD, movement is huge, getting to move around. And that is because when we move, we actually release a little bit of dopamine. Just from moving both sides of our body, whether we do some air squats, like just squatting down in the air like this, or just going for a walk, or just moving your hands and doing something where you're doing cross lateral movement, so both sides of the body. I wish somebody had told me that there is no perfect way to organize the notes. I think mind maps definitely helped me when I transferred to U of A, and I think it was like the last semester or the last year, I started using FreeMind to organize all my class notes. And for me, it was hard to always put information in the right place, or sometimes information needed to be connected to lots of other pieces. And so mind maps helped me to visualize and to connect all the pieces of each chapter and the ideas that were maybe like connecting from one subject, one part of class to the next week's lecture. And it just was free form where I could move things around, especially for studying. So yeah, I wish someone had told me about Tony Buzan's mind maps and the software to use, FreeMind. I wish that I had known about the low dopamine and the ways that you can boost it, both through exercise, through getting better sleep, through taking supplements like taurine and tyrosine, through alpha GPC can help with choline production, so it will help your brain to focus by just having extra choline. You'll have to listen to the Andrew Huberman episode about ADHD to learn more about that. That was a really good episode on YouTube. I wish that someone had told me that I could get help and somebody else could take notes. I started working with a friend that he was Korean, and he would record all of the notes in class because he had that language barrier. And then we would get together in the ILC at U of A, like in the study rooms, and he would type out all the notes, and then we would just meet, and he'd ask me questions, and I would reteach him the information. And that helped to reinforce in me what I needed. And then I also got a copy of the notes, so I didn't have to sit there typing, because typing or writing down the notes really distracted me. Like I became aware of my hand, and I'd become aware of my handwriting and just like my physical body, and then I would just be distracted and completely lose track of what the person was saying. Or if I did a really good job taking notes, I didn't remember anything that they said. I just remembered like writing things down. So yeah, that was really not great for me. I passed college, but I didn't like kill it. I wasn't amazing at it. I wish that someone had told me that in managerial accounting, you have to do all the homework, because I took managerial accounting 5 times and I kept failing out of it, either because I was working a full-time job while I was trying to go to school, or I was working 2 part-time jobs. And for whatever reason, managerial accounting always got down to the bottom of the list, and I never did the homework until that last time I finally just did it. And I did the homework, and also the concepts clicked. But it wasn't so much that the concepts were hard. I could answer questions when I was in class. It was just doing the homework was just so boring that I couldn't focus. So yeah, I wish someone had told me, strategies for how to do my homework, especially in managerial accounting. I wish that somebody had explained to me the difference of when you're going to a community college versus the university. And for me at community college, I would bring all of my books, and I'd have all of them in the car, and then each break I would go out to the car and get the other book and come back, and then of course you're in class and you're using the book. Well, at U of A, nobody brought the books. They would just like take notes, or they'd make photocopies of just the chapter that they needed, and here I was carrying this huge backpack around with all the books, and it was just really hard. And then I didn't have anywhere to like put my notebook with all the notes in it. So yeah, I wish I had learned some study strategies beforehand that worked for my ADHD brain, because all the other study strategies like worked for neurotypicals, but didn't really work for me. So yeah, that's a lot of things. I'm glad I went through college. I do also wish that I had just worked on developing the skill instead of caring about the grade, which I didn't care too much about it, but like I wish that I just developed the skill of just getting things done instead of like, I don't know, there's a skill that comes from like completing the coursework and from just like graduating. And like it took me 6 years or 8 years to graduate college. Let's see, graduated high school in 1999, and I graduated college December of 2007. So yeah, 6.5 years. I wish that I had someone in my life that had ADHD that could share some of their experiences, and maybe they were further along, or maybe they had already graduated college and could have talked to me about some of the things that worked for them. And of course, I'm going to have to adapt and change it for myself. But yeah, I feel like that would have helped me. But all along, I definitely developed grit. There's a great book by Angela Duckworth called Grit that talks about this skill of just going into work and of working hard at something. And I think that's, if ADHD is a superpower, which I don't think of it as a superpower, but I feel like we develop grit just through the challenges that we face, and that normal life is so much harder for us than for neurotypicals, that to live a normal life for us, we had to develop grit in order to accomplish it. So yeah, I'm grateful for that in my life. Yeah, I think now I'm grateful to have other people around me that have ADHD that I can connect with, that I can share my experiences with, and that I can also adapt and adjust my understanding of what ADHD is just from their experiences. So, yeah, if that's you, I hope that this video helps you to learn about someone else's experiences, mine. And I hope it encourages you to keep learning about yourself, about what works for you in your brain. I have a whole bunch of resources that I put together in a Notion template. I'd love to just give that to you if that's something that you think would benefit you. It's videos like the Andrew Huberman talk on ADHD and how to focus even if you have ADHD. Books, resources like Dr. Charles Barkley, who's a preeminent researcher on ADHD and helps people like us. And yeah, so I don't want you to have to go through the same things that I went through. I think we can learn from each other's experiences. So yeah, that's my hope for you, is that you would get to learn from my experience. I'm kind of tired today because a baby woke me up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you might hear her in the other room with my wife in our nursery. So I'm super thankful to have her, but it is definitely a challenge having a newborn that I never expected. And now I'm wondering if that has been rubbing on the microphone. I don't know. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit this evening. Today is day 18 of the challenge, so I have 12 more days of going live, and if I make it all the way, then I don't have to eat this bad boy. And so yeah, I'm grateful that I have been able to be consistent because of some of these tools, the whiteboard, the stickies, and you being here helps me. It's kind of body doubling, where it's I know that there's people watching that I'm accountable to show up for you, because I want to help people, like me. I want to help you if you have ADHD or if you just struggle with focus. So, that's why I'm doing this whole thing. So yeah, hope you have a good evening. I will be live again tomorrow and for the next 12 days. Otherwise, I have to eat the dog food, but I am not planning on that. So count on me being here, and whether you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. And yeah, hope you have a good night. I'll be talking to you soon. If I don't see you again, now I'm trying to think of that Forrest Gump. No, not Forrest Gump. I can't remember the name of the movie. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah, something like that.